We'll get this figured out. I am here by myself, apparently. But I appreciate a couple guys that are in here. I see Future Batman first in the chat. I don't know why he's not on here with me since his face was on the promo, or why Fearless Leader is not here. But I agree with you, Southern Comic Geek. It must be Paul's fault. Um, so I got a big stack of books here, so I have plenty to talk about, plenty to show you on the recent hauls. See if I can't get Paul on here
Whoa,
too.
whoa, 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 whoa! I've been here the entire time.
There he is.
I've
Fine.
been here the entire time. So I've been watching you, but I was actually buying some stuff right now. So I ended up buying. Give me one sec. Okay, so let me turn this off. Okay, so I've been following this other person on
Well, hang on a second.
Instagram.
Hey, let me hang on a second. Let me introduce the show here. All right. So what we do here is Monday hauls, where we kind of show you guys what we have been picking up and buying over the last week and a half. We kind of just show you some new books, some trending books, or just some books that we're interested in collecting, adding to our collection. Hey, Michael, good to see you. Let me just call out, shout out the rest of the guys that are in the chat here. For Pete Sake, channel favorite, of course, Southern Comic Geek. Thanks for being here, buddy. Appreciate it. Michael's here. Larry Green, hello to you, sir. And of course, Mike Lofton himself is shown up to support the show. So it looks like Fearless Leader is not with us here, so me and Jen are going to have to hold it down here tonight. We're going to kind of do this round robin. I'll show a couple books. Jen will show a couple books. And we'll kind of move things along here. So you're ripping ready here, Mr. Jim.
I
You
am.
got some books ready to show. All right, I'll let you open the show then and show your first couple books, and then I'll flip it over and show you what I got.
Okay, so I ended up picking this little beauty up. So I don't know if you guys were keeping up to date with what's going on, but this is the Deadpool Nerdy 30.
Is this a
Yeah.
new book, Jen, or this came out a while
Yeah,
ago?
this came out this I believe it was this past weekend. I'm not sure if it was Boston Fan Expo or this is basically the book that was supposed to get the acetate, or I think it was
Oh, I
either
see.
this book or because there's Ghost Rider and one other book. I think this was the Deadpool book. But after what CGC has said recently about their acetates, they don't. I don't think they're going to be doing that. So uh, I ended up getting this one. These are going for about 30 something online. I ended up getting this for like around 30 or so. So
Yeah, I had
it's
heard about the Ghost Rider. I hadn't heard about that one, so that's cool to see.
yeah. I'm gonna just open the back up, guys. So I don't want to touch the book itself, but it's a cool. It's Clayton Crane. His little signature in the back, and it
Yeah,
now
yeah.
here.
Jen is saying that this book was supposed to be one of the ones that had the acetate, but may or may not have gotten the acetate. Is that what we're saying here?
Yeah, but I think what they did is they went along and they did something else. Um, so they released like three different versions for this book. So this is like I guess cover A or the normal, with the font. They have a virgin one, and then they also have a black light one. The black lights are going for like insane amount of money. It's like anywhere between $400 to $500 to $600 for the acetate covers. I'm sorry, um, black light covers. Um,
Well, I tell you what, Jen, would you like maybe quickly describe how someone would be able to purchase a con exclusive book if they haven't attended the convention?
okay, so here's what I do, guys. So when Michael and I were going to comic cons and stuff like that, if I can't make a comic con and he's going there, I'll communicate with him or Edwin, or I'll communicate with the buddy, or I'll try to find someone that's going to a con. Let them know, hey, I'm looking for this book. I'll Venmo you or Cash App you, whatever, right? they'll get the book for you. So that's one alternative that you can do if you don't have a friend or a buddy or a panel member, because sometimes we go to comic conventions and we'll get something for you. We may just charge a fee here, like $5 or $10 or something for making a stand in line. That's a joke, but we'll pick you up something. But or what you can do is you can hey, what's up? For Pizzaki. So
Hey,
I just
amazing Spider Flint. Thanks for being with us.
mhm. So or what you can do is you can go online to third party companies if they aren't boosting up the prices on these books already. Like there's that there's Scorpion Comics, there's Unknown Comics, there's so many places you can go where they've already purchased this. Like this is Clayton Crane, so he would be with like Unknown, right? So you could probably go to Unknown, see if they have the Virgin aspect, or you can go to Clayton Crane's website
Right, that's what I'm getting
and then
after. A lot of
go.
times you can go to the artist's website or whoever's going to release it, but you can't. There's sometimes there is exclusives that you could only get in person at the con, but a lot of times there's a lot of books you can get from the third party, like Jim's talking about.
Yeah, that is correct. So what I would do, like Art Germ had this one beautiful cover that came out, and it was the the Batman Adventures homage cover, and it had Harley Quinn smoking her. I guess she was blowing her gun, and then they had Poison Ivy behind her, like kind of like messing with the crossbow, and it was like the homage to Batman 12, and I just love that cover, so I went on his website and I bought it. So because I didn't want to wait around for it. Um, you can do that, or what you can do is if you really need to do this. I don't like doing this all the time, but sometimes you have to. Like I had to do this with the acetate cover that came out. That was very controversial, but I went on eBay and I bought that cover. Sometimes you'll have to go on eBay to do it, and you may end up paying a little bit more. And sometimes you'll probably end up not even paying a little bit more. You'll end up paying like double the price. So if this was going for like you know like 30 or whatever, that person will be selling this for I don't know 45, 50, maybe sometimes even 60, depending on the demand for it. Now, for me, I got pretty lucky. I got it for around 30. I just and to be honest, I was picking this up for a friend, and then he told me he's like, "Oh, dude, there's a blacklight cover for it." So I think I'm gonna end up keeping this. I don't think he's gonna want it, which is cool because it's a cool looking book. I like Juggernaut. I like the
What
way that.
else? What else you got? You got some other books to show us here?
Yeah, I do. I picked up some. Books that I liked from last week. I haven't been to the comic book shop in so long because I was sick from like COVID and stuff. But I ended up picking up some stuff. I ended up picking up this book, but I picked up multiple covers for it. And I'm not planning on flipping these guys. I'm keeping this for private signings.
Tell us about the artist and why you bought the book.
So this artist has been pretty hot. I can't remember the name of this artist. I think this artist is really new. Is new at the moment.
What made you want to buy this book?
I like this book because I really like the. I think the artist's name is right here. There you guys go. They're actually doing a pretty good job. Sozo Meke. Sozo Maki.
That would be Japanese.
But yeah, I really like the way he does the eyes, and just like I just like the way the artwork looks on here, and just I love how pretty her face is. I like pretty artwork, man. I mean, if it draws me, I'll pick it up. That's the same reason I like. I think you and I have very similar tastes. Like, it's the same way how I feel about Adam Hughes. Like, he does really good with drawing facial expressions, and he draws them really well. Like I think they look really. I think the females that he draws, even guys, he makes them look very heroic or very pretty. So I picked that one up, and then I also picked up. I think Paul showed this off.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, that's a nice looking book.
Yeah.
There you are. Okay, froze.
Yeah, I bought this because it's an homage. That's the reason that I bought that one, was because it's an homage. So
it's a
put that one up.
distressed cover, right? They make it look old, so it's
Yeah, they make it look old, even though it's a new book or whatnot. And then I also ended up going to my local comic book shop. I had these in my box, so I just put them in my
somebody that looked like Brolin to me, but somebody said that was the guy from the new geez, what the heck is that show? It was from the movie, the Navy private investigator who goes from town to town righting wrongs. What the heck is his name?
I think the name.
Pat. Somebody knew in the auction the other night who that actor is.
Yeah, it's a good looking cover.
I will say though that 8 Million Genies has been really popping off. I didn't think it was going to be as popular as it is, but Paul was telling me they're doing maybe a 5th or 6th printing on that first number 1.
Yeah, that's probably the one that people should pick up. The 5th or 6th printing, you should.
Andrew Dioff. Was Andrew Dioff the guy that's on the show that I'm thinking about? Jack Reacher.
Yeah.
Jack Reacher.
Yeah, because it says his name on the cover. That's why I
okay, all right. Yep.
Yeah, I was zooming in on it because it's usually they showed his name on the cover. I also ended up picking up this book. I think this might be I think this might be a 9/8 candidate, guys. I like hunted this book down. Like I would search this book up everywhere, man. I was just like, you know what? I wouldn't be mad if this came back a 9/6, you know, because it's a black cover, so it's very close to a 9/8, and I'm just, if this comes back a 9/8, I'll be very happy. It's one of my favorite covers. I know I bought one from Carlos because I think this is the only cover for DC for that relates to Black Adam that I will constantly keep picking up for some reason. Like if I see it, I'll pick it up. Like, oh, I want that cover. It's $50. Just give it to me, man. I go up and I pick this cover up. So everywhere I go, I'll pick it up. Nice. You want me to finish the first round with that and then come back to me?
That's good. Let's just keep going back and forth here. That sounds good. Hang on.
Okay.
And we'll come right
I want
to
see what you got. So.
Okay. Let me go full screen here. I've opened a couple of them, but this is what my today's Monday delivery looks like today. I don't think we'll have a time to cold open all of them. I did promise Paul Comics I would do the cold open of the box that he sent me, so let's do that here. This is a book that Jen and I have talked about on multiple occasions. This would be the first appearance of God Emperor Doom.
Yep.
This is the wraparound or the connecting cover variant, if I'm not mistaken. And I like the artwork. I like the character, actually. I kind of bash on Marvel for not having any good stories for like an entire decade, but I will say Secret Wars was pretty good. It didn't start off great, but there was a lot of great spin-offs, like that Planet Hulk spin-off with Captain America that was really good, the Thor Corps, and then even the main title, crossover title, ended up being pretty good itself. Fort Pete says, 8 Billion Genies is a good series so far. The first printing of 1 and 2 are under-ordered because it was before announcement. Number 2 has an error printing that is hard to find in shops. So that's good to know, people. Be on the lookout for that. I like Magneto covers, and this is Cyclops in the Magneto get-up signed book. I don't remember purchasing this book, honestly, but this Paul might have given me something for free here, and that might be this one. So this is a cool cover, kind of a negative space, Joe Cicada. And the Blade Runner, I believe this was This might have been a race win, but I do have my Blade Runner #1 original #1 from the 80s. Love that book. I will say I really liked uh, Blade Runner 2049, maybe it was. The new one, I thought was excellent. I've rewatched that movie probably 4 or 5 times. That's how I rank if a movie is good enough, if I can watch it more than once. So many
It has
movies
high
you watch
replay
once,
value.
never care about it again. Another great one, The Boys. This is Free Comic Book Day, but you got the gangs all there. Mother's Milk and the female of the species and Frenchie. Um, cool book, cool series to read, but certainly not for children's, right? Okay, I'm gonna start showing some of the big boy books here. Here's a run I just picked up. No Small Key here. This is the first appearance, the first full appearance of Warlock as Warlock. He gets named Warlock in this issue, and it's also the first appearance of the Soul Gem, which is in his third eye right there. And to go with #1, you gotta have #2, and if you gotta have #2, you gotta have #3, right? And you can't very well have #3 if you don't have #4. And this to me looked like a ripoff of Drax the Destroyer in his pro wrestling outfit, there with the purple and the belt and all, but they're calling him a demon called Trax and not Drax. So I've not read this one. I'm interested to find out why they have a deviance version of Drax the Destroyer on the cover. But I'm a big fan of Adam Warlock. Ever since the Infinity Gauntlet, have always loved Adam Warlock. He was phenomenal in the 2008 Guardians of the Galaxy run, which I think is some of the best stuff Marvel's ever done. Was in that Guardians of the Galaxy run. And then I might as well have 5, and who knows, there is a weird Doom character in this, the Day of the Deathbirds. The Man Called Doom. I love UFO spaceship covers, and that is a funky looking spaceship armada coming in. I don't know, they kind of look like bats, maybe. So that's, and then rounded off with 6 here. You have a 2-headed Hulk type character here, right? That they're calling the Brute. But this is when he does away with Reed Richards is no more. Too late, fool. Now there is no more Reed Richards. So this is a big time series. Warlock is coming. Anybody collects Warlock, this is not a cheap book.
Nope.
Certainly paid up for that set. Now here's a book I'm really excited to show you guys. Super excited about this book. This was an auction I won on mycomicbookshop.com. It is an upgrade to a comic book I already have, so there's a good chance I will be selling my other copy. And I'm actually impressed that it looks better than it did online. It has some pressable defects, but this is Tales to Astonish, #41. This is like the 5th appearance of Ant-Man, 5th or 6th appearance of Ant-Man, because I think his first appearance is in 35 or 36. Super cool cover. There is something magical in the early 12-cent covers. They're not like overly busy. I don't know if it's the colors or what it is, but I like to collect older books, early Silver Age monster type books, and science fiction. And to me, this cover pops. It has it. You get a 2.4 perspective with the bug in the front and the smook. I don't know what. Oh, it's supposed to be smoke, I guess, but it says smook. Interesting. Yeah, Pete, I knew you'd appreciate this cover. Pete likes to collect old books like this. But I'm like Jin. I really got to have a connection with the cover art if I'm going to put up dollars for a book.
Oh yeah,
Like,
definitely.
and to me, this cover has what I'm looking for as far as science fiction goes. I've been buying up tons of Champions books. This was part of a 15 book set I got. And why did I pull these ones out? First, Rampage, Hercules, Black Widow in her fancy black cat suit. Um, yeah, this is the other reason. This was the attack on Olympus, which kind of tied to the Thor movie where they go to, which ended up being the Council of Planets, but we kind of thought it was Olympus early on. Still stacking West Coast Avengers number 1 through 10 for whatever reason. Here's a run of Defenders I got from a guy. I believe this was an IG person-to-person purchase. But Defenders has some really cool covers because they kind of like dabble in horror. They kind of dabble in science fiction. But you've got Hellcat on this one. The Overmind. As you all know, I'm a big fan of Valkyrie. Like they have, telling me that's not a Jack Kirby character. Too many heroes. And we talked about Squadron Supreme and Hyperion. Jen and I did on the show.
Yep.
That is now we're getting into science fiction / mystic Doctor Strange stuff with a Shuma Gorath looking character. This might be the many angled ones. That's kind of how they're depicted. For those you know, there's this alternate dimension called I can't remember the name of the dimension, but it's controlled by the many angled ones. Shuma Gorath is one of those. They're like octopus monsters, which you saw that in the one What If episode. Here is a wacky Willy Wonka type cover, or like a Shel Silverstein, or who's the other one I'm thinking of? Dr. Seuss. This is probably a Dr. Seuss homage. The weirdest adventures as the Defenders take a very wrong turn indeed. So you got the Amyla Muscaria flyaceric mushroom that basically Christmas was based upon. It's a hallucinogenic mushroom that is at the heart of many, many children's stories. Interesting fact to learn. Here we get into the horror with Son of Satan, Mr. Jackal's favorite character. Then we're back into some Jack Kirby looking guy there. And I forgot that Gargoyle was on this team. I bought his first appearance. He had like a little 4-issue miniseries. Looks like Son of Satan v Son of Satan. And here we are. This is another classic cover homage, right? Jim, the battle cover.
Yep.
Usually,
yes,
X-Men, it's the Avengers, or
versus the Avengers.
Mm-hmm. Son of Satan looks like he's in trouble, getting reprimanded in this one.
Mm-hmm.
Then we're kind of back to that.
Beautiful cover.
I like Hellcat. I don't think she gets nearly as much cover time.
No, she doesn't.
Her first appearance cover is kind of lackluster, so it's good to do. I will do one more cold open with you. I'll open it in real time, so we can be disappointed together if it's terrible. But Paul was supposed to at least be in the chat to tell me why I forgot what books he sent me, because I think he sent me some free books in there, because I don't remember. Maybe I won some of those in a race or something, but well, look at this. Somebody at least cared enough to tape a thank you note and put stickers here. So I will bet dollars to donut that I bought this from a woman, because typically it's women that do this that I buy comic books from. They like to put little stickers on, little thank you cards, and this person went the extra mile, I will say. So hopefully the book is commensurate with the extra effort here. They even wrote me a letter. I bought one comic book from them. Hopefully, it's a good one. Just wanted to congratulate you and thank you for your purchase of blank blank. A hell of a cool Bronze Age key. Definitely a huge part of the Thanos saga and a set to rise in value with Star Fox now in the MCU. Good spec. One of us true believers at Atomic something 24. Enjoy. That is some extra effort, uh, which beats the hell out of the poor shipping. The wall of shame I'm going to show you in the last segment is some of the worst packaging I have received ever. I received this past week, and I'm going to hang these guys out to dry because it was terrible. And one of the books I bought was worth $200, and it's completely destroyed. So I'm fighting that battle. So hang on for the last segment, and I'm going to show you what that disaster looks like. All right. So this is the key. Mike Lofton will appreciate this. I've been searching for high-grade copies of this book. This is the first full appearance of Eros, Thanos' brother, who would later go on to be named Star Fox by Wasp of the Avengers in an Avengers book. And as we read here, first full appearance of Star Fox Eros. This is also the second appearance of Drax the Destroyer, the fourth full appearance of Thanos, and Thanos War #1 key. Great 7.5, huh? Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, without opening the book up, I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. I always get worried when you've got a color breaking crease on the cover. I have a hard time putting those anything higher than a 7, but the back looks really, no, the back doesn't look good. Okay, so this isn't a 7.5. You can't have a water stain on a book that's 7.5. I probably could have lived with the little color break on the corner there, but the card and the stickers were nice, but that was not disclosed, or I wouldn't have purchased a book like this. This was another, looks like this was another, who did I get this from? Quality Comics? Who knows?
So they weren't,
I appreciate the personal touch, but looks like I took an L on this one. But we'll see. Yeah. So again, like I said, now you know it's real, not scripted. I probably wouldn't show that. So at any rate, do you want me to do one more here, Jen, or you got one ready to go?
If you, yeah, sure, man. I really enjoy, listening to you and
all right, I'll do one more, and then we'll flip it over. Okay, this one here's a big issue I have, guys. The cardboard needs to be bigger than the comic. And this, what is this doing? Nothing. Stop doing this. Solid pieces of cardboard, people. Or just spend the $1.50 and buy a Gemini, for fuck's sake. Sorry, or for heaven's sake. Forgot we got to watch our language on Carlos' show here. But otherwise, here's another big pet peeve I have. Tape should never touch a comic book bag, period. You need to layer like an extra backer board on top and bottom and tape to that. Don't tape to the comic book bag. You end up destroying the bag trying to take it apart. You risk bending the book trying to pull it apart. If anybody saw my IG posts, I received a book with packaging tape on the actual comic itself. Oh, geez, I almost don't want to show these. I'll show them because they're so cool. Really cool books. I have been chasing these titles. I sold a couple on the auction the other night. This is what spurred this. I got a high copy of this book right here, which is the special, and it reprints issues 1 and 2. So I got an early run of higher. They're supposed to be higher grade books, and they look pretty darn good to me. They're at least VFs, all of them. But I got the first 5 issues of Chamber of Darkness, which are these. There is so many obscure titles in the Bronze Age of Marvel that are so cool, horror or science fiction covers that I never knew existed. And I think it's really awesome to go and find these things and discover a title I never knew existed that had awesome sci-fi covers. I sold one of those on the auction the other night that had a fantastic sci-fi cover, which I can't lay my hands on right now. But well, here it is. Here it is. Rebecca Rader picked this one up. This was a title I only recently found out about. Is that not just an awesome sci-fi cover? And
Yes.
come to find out, there's a story in here that was also a famous story, short story in here that was also done by Star Trek, called The Time Trap. Steven Spock told me about that. But I mean, how cool are these treasures, these gems to come across as far as little known, awesome science fiction cover art from the Bronze Age? Just amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. So I better put Becky's sticker back on there. Okay. Well, you let me know when you want to cut in here. I'll just keep opening stuff. Actually, I'll tell you what. Let's cut over to Jin. Let's get back over to Jin and see what he's got. Let's see what the people have said here. Unfortunately, I think Thor movie fiasco is temperate. Yeah, I agree with that, Edwin Price. They took one of the greatest stories that has been told in a Thor comic since Ragnarok happened in the early 2000s, and they blew it. They had Christian Bale, an A-list actor, and they turned it into rainbow farting unicorns.
Yeah, you're right.
It was a mistake. It was a mistake. But if you don't read comics, you might have liked the movie. Or you don't read Thor comics, the movie might have appealed to you. But those of us who read and love comics, which I guess there is some of that, because like I don't read a lot of DC comics, and I really liked the DC movies. I watched the extended versions, so when they come
Yeah, but
out,
they were
on
way better.
streaming,
those extended.
they're not afraid to be more serious. They're not afraid
Yes.
to tackle more serious and be a little bit more violent and gritty. And I, as an adult consumer, are kind of more drawn to those things than just dumb dick and fart jokes and shirtless men and unicorns and rainbows and stuff. There's a place for that. I don't think every movie that Marvel puts out needs to be that, but I hope we get to the point, honestly, where like somebody can just do a one-off movie like Black Label, like they did the Joker. Doesn't necessarily have to tie to the greater DCU, but you could do a one-off story with a character. It would be cool if we could get to that point to allow different writers and directors to do their own vision and not have to be locked into an 8-movie deal or something like that, you know? Or you could bring in a different actor to play the role of Thor or somebody like that. I would appreciate seeing that. Okay, this is from the same person. Mr. Jackal's going to love this one. Mr. Jackal, if you are watching, you are going to love this one. I'm going to save it for the very last comic because it's a comic that you and I specifically talked about online here. So, of course, once I saw that first Worlds Unknown cover, I'm out buying more of these, right? So this is the homage to The Day the Earth Stood Still, the very classic early sci-fi movie. And who did the remake, Jen? Was that Keanu Reeves?
Yeah, Keanu Reeves is in the original, in the remake.
In the remake, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So packaging on this, they were just, there's no bags, no backer boards, just kind of stuffed into, again, So they are a little beat up. I don't have a whole lot of money into these, so I'm not too worried. If I can get these cleaned and pressed, I'll probably sell the duplicates. I've been buying a lot of these because I like to have two of any comic book. So if I sell it, I'm not heartbroken. I've got another one. It's not always the case, but that's usually the way I like to operate. Okay, next one is Sinbad. Not really a big Sinbad guy, but Scheherazade and 101 Arabian Nights is one of the all-time literary classics. One of the great stories to come out of Persia and the Middle East, and it's one of the oldest stories ever told, committed to oral storytelling. And I just saw a breakdown, the psychological breakdown of Scheherazade. So I'm kind of really into her as a character and how she kind of broke some dynamics and social norms about arranged marriages and stuff. And it was really interesting. But at any rate, Sinbad, still a great character. And Conan is in this one too, I believe. This is out of Worlds Unknown. Another great sci-fi cover here with the space capsule returned with a Martian looking character, right? I don't see anybody else of note on there, but still awesome sci-fi cover. Another tentacle monster. We do love those, right? Worlds Unknown. Boy, I tell you what, this one went quick because I just bought this one here. Another copy of number 4. I do love this cover. I don't know what it is about this one, but the space, the Earth is in the background. You got the planets, this wicked looking alien, a guy who apparently can breathe in space. And who doesn't love a good dinosaur cover? You got some type of dinosaur hunter on here. It looks like they shot themselves a pterodactyl. Just awesome. Awesome, obscure sci-fi. I love it. I love it. I love it. This is the other half of that Sinbad story. And it almost looks like that's kind of more of a Shiva type statue, wouldn't you say, Jin, with the multiple arms?
Yeah, with the multiple arms and so forth. Yeah, kind of.
So,
I mean,
yeah.
the face is a little different, though. Face is a little.
Yeah, I don't think they could do a 1-for-1 of an actual deity, but I think maybe that's what they're drawing from there.
Create more controversy.
Right.
How dare you?
So here's the one I saved for last. It's the only book in this stack that actually had a comic book bag on it, right? And I will say that even with the shoddy packaging, and I think, there's some dings on these. Hopefully I can fix. That looks like a miscut cover, but there's some of these that look like they're in really good shape. Like that one's probably a VF or better condition. So we'll get those cleaned up. You may be seeing those again here soon. Here it is, Mr. Jackal. The infamous Killdozer. As seen on TV, really funny that they would say that. So the story behind the Killdozer here is this disgruntled guy got himself a huge bulldozer, welded all these steel plates all on it, basically made himself an indestructible tank, drove through this small town. Maybe it wasn't necessarily a small town. It was like the suburbs of a bigger city, and like ran over the businesses of people that had offended him, like flattened their buildings to the ground. And the cops have like little revolvers. There's no way they're taking down 1/2-inch steel plates. And like it basically went on.
Does he have bulletproof glass in there? Is there like he probably put? I'm sure he has bulletproof.
He had cameras. He had cameras rigged up so he could see what was going on, and that's how they finally kind of got to the end. He ran out of gas. They stopped him. He ran out of gas. He had a building collapse down around him. Mr. Jackal kind of told this story, which makes it that much more funny that they put as seen on TV on there, because the guy basically destroyed half a town doing this. But that's where the thing called the Killdozer came from. 1974, Clint Walker, Carl Betts were alien jumping meteorites into D9 bulldozer. Okay, he took one to the good. He did. The Good Old Boys Network took a beating that day, Pete. You're absolutely right. And I will say, astonishingly, this is a near mint book. Um, it is probably the most valuable in that stack, even though to me it's not doesn't have the most appealing cover, but the content is what makes this a magic book for sure. For sure. Very cool book. Very cool book. I have not owned one of those before. I have picked that book up, but never actually owned one. And ever since Mr. Jackal was talking about it on that show, I was like, man, I got to have one of those. Can't remember. It was a couple weeks ago we talked about it. But why don't we kick it over here to you, Jen, if you got a couple more books to show, and I will kind of open up some of these bigger boxes and see what's worth showing here. I'm not going to flip through another 150 books here on the show, so I'll pick out some of the good ones here. So, all right, Jen, what do you got for us?
All right, guys. So I'm always looking for a better copy of the one that I have, but got Mighty Avengers #1. For those that don't own this copy just yet, I would recommend maybe I know the prices have probably fallen down for these now, but you should get this because this is probably the future of what they're trying to do. Like you got White Tiger right there, that's a Puerto Rican character right there, and
that's the female White Tiger.
The female. I'm sure that if they decide to make a White Tiger movie, I own a few copies of that myself, so they decide to go down that route and introduce, the original Marvel character. Now, I recently did pick up a Kung Fu. I can't remember the actual issue, but it's the first appearance of White Tiger, like the White Tiger, and it was signed by like 3 people, and also has a sketch on there. And I ended up getting a pretty good deal on that thanks to a buddy of mine that was selling it. Now I'm collecting this mostly because I'm gonna probably pass this off to my fiance because she's Puerto Rican and she loves those type of things. So aside from that, I would say maybe keep this on your radar, just for those that haven't picked it up, because it will go back up. It's going to be it'll be one of those books that you wish you had picked up earlier, because especially if some of you guys out there that are flippers. Okay, so I have Damage Control #1. I just love this cover.
Yeah, that's a great one.
One. This just I can't say no to this cover, man, or even this. I mean, just if you look at it, I mean, I could probably give this to Comic Tracks and tell them, hey, could you make it look even better than this? I mean, it's because I see a little bit of the
just like the corners was bent over a little bit. That's because it was in the bag. And let me make a good comment about this real quick here, because I think that this is a perfect example of why I do something in particular. When you I can tell right now that comic has 2 boards in it, right, Jen?
Yeah, it has 2 boards in it.
Okay, I put 2 boards in anything that's at least worth $10 or so, right? Because I like the way that feels in the hand. It feels more secure, and if it's a more expensive book, I put 3 in there. And what happens even when there's 1 is the corners get bent over like that. So I've been buying Silver Age for thick books, or Modern for thick books, right? It is a type of comic book storage bag that is for like square bound thick books, but it will allow you to put 2 or 3 backer boards in with your comic and not get that corner bent. Show that corner bent over again there, Jim. See what we're talking about. See how it kind of just folds over there because it's tight in the bag? I mean, easily fixed with a quick press.
Hmm. Yeah, this
Okay.
would be this. I'm sure with a really good press, this book would come back a 9.8
Oh, sure.
because like there's no color breaks on here. It is such a fantastic book, and this is one of those books. Again, that cover is just fantastic to look at. It's just, I mean, even I don't know. I mean, I would go off and try to buy more of those. I mean, that's another book, guys. Just if you ever come across it, pick it up. Just
Here,
and then this
it
is
looks
one.
like, hang on a second. It looks like Evan Price has a good comment here. Hey, buyers, ask your sellers to make sure that USPS marks your comic book shipments fragile with their official stickers. I will say that I asked my local post office guy to put those stickers on, or asked him if I could have a roll. They won't do it. If I go to the main hub on 38th Street, they will do it, but some people will do it, some won't. It's always worth asking because they're right. They are actually required to take extra care if the official fragile sticker is on the package. Good point. Good point, Mr. Price. Okay, sorry, Jen. Go ahead.
No. I'm glad you you you're reading the comments. Also, that's awesome. Um, I recently bought this one also. It's the
Oh
what is it
yeah,
called?
like that one.
Yeah, just it's just I'm a huge Namor guy, man. I mean, I have Doctor Doom, Namor, Carol Danvers. My list is weird. It's like I don't have Spider-Man up there. I don't have like the big guys like Captain America. I have Doctor Doom, Namor, Carol Danvers, Blade. It's like Blade. It's like yeah, I've liked Blade ever since I was a kid because of the movies, right? Then I got into the comics and so forth. But I was already collecting comics, but back to this. I'm a huge Namor guy. I didn't have this book. I looked around for it, and I got lucky. This is actually a Mark Jewelers. You know, wrote it on the back. This is usually what I do with my books. I'll
Oh,
have them
fantastic.
double. I have them doubled, and then on the back I'll write down Mark Jewelers insert. It's a black insert. It has an extra glossy ad in the front page. So the first page is actually. I'll
Wait
actually
a
open
minute.
it up.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Time out. Time out. You're telling
Yeah,
me that that is a double insert book.
I think so. It has a double ad in the front and has a
Okay.
double. It's
That
it's
makes
not a
that.
it's not a it's not a Mark Jeweler ad. It's a double gloss ad. It's like a double ad.
All right, we're going to
Looks
see
like
because
a
we're
gloss.
going to talk about this. Double insert books are worth tremendously more money than Mark Jewelers, and they are very hard to come by, and they are extremely difficult to come by in high grade. So we're about ready to see if Jin's got himself a double insert here. It's either
So
going to be an Alka Seltzer or a Menanin insert.
oh,
And he's got an Alka Seltzer double insert, sold on a military base or near a military base. Is there a star stamp on the outside of that book anywhere? Check the
uh,
back.
let me see. Let's see, because I'll let you be the judge of that, man, because I'm not.
Even in this condition, even in
It
the
has.
condition I can.
It does
Oh,
have that on the back. I was kind of disappointed when I saw that. I was like, but I know there are really good pressers out there that can they can't make it look they can make it look better than this by
hold
making
that up
it
close again. Let me see. Is that an oil stain or is it a
it
coffee
looks like
stain?
an oil stain to me. So
Okay,
um
okay. It's not beyond hope that that can be cleaned, but even with those damages,
yeah, it's just
because
that it just got onto the first two back pages. So again, there's
but the
another
fact
it's
that this is a military release double insert book makes it valuable in any grade.
and then you got your
Grade.
the Mark Jeweler. But like this is a book that I was looking for a very long time because I'm like this is not going anywhere, guys. I'm not planning on flipping this or you probably won't see this on the auction or anything. I know a
Well,
lot of
that's got
guys
doesn't that correlate to the? I think it's maybe issue 29 in the volume one Submariner where he's on top of the killer whale in that one because that's a killer whale, right?
I thought this is a yeah, it is a killer whale. You're right.
It's a
I
shame
thought it
when
was a big tuna because I just looked at the thought it was a killer tuna or something. But then
oddly enough,
uh,
Submariner was one of the first comic book runs I collected as a kid. I loved Imperious Rex. It was when he
mhm.
was teamed up with Namorita. which would have been in the 90s, right?
So you probably have a very soft spot for Subby the way I do. Then
Oh yeah, big
it's like,
Subby fan.
yeah,
Big
I love the Submariner because I feel like he's a very misunderstood character. Like a lot of people don't understand, but you did you know that Submariner actually served in World War II,
Oh yes,
and when
absolutely.
they make
He is
when
he is
when they make
the first mutant. He is
yes,
the first
so I
Marvel
mean
mutant.
when you talk about a character like Submariner, you have to understand this is a first flying superhero. This is way before Superman wasn't flying when Submariner comics were out. He was leaping
Tall building.
buildings, like he was jumping buildings and he could jump very high, right? And then eventually Superman started flying, but Submariner was one of the very first characters that was already flying in a way because he has those wings. So it's weird how he doesn't get the respect that he deserves. Like I have a
Here,
very soft spot
let
for
me show you this, Jen.
yeah.
This is a reprint of
It's
Marvel
beautiful.
Mystery Comics, Timely number
Mhm.
1, the 70th anniversary. The first two big superheroes in Timely Comics was the Submariner and the Human Torch.
Yep.
And he was right. They're the first two flying heroes that have lasted or stood the test of time. There was plenty of Golden Age heroes that didn't make it, right? But this
Mhm.
is one of the few that made it out of the Golden Age into the modern era. Even Wonder Woman didn't come around till much later. Superman
Mhm.
held up. Namor is really, arguably, one of the most, if top four characters in the Marvel universe, and maybe top two as far as its history goes.
Yes,
Um,
and
and
that's
arguably
I think that's
maybe
why.
for the top rung. Because again, right, he was there in the World War II comic books. He lasted. He was there before Captain America. He was the one that brought Captain America out of the ice.
Yes,
Um,
it was his team. His team went there to go search for Cap. Well, they were searching for I think his
Something else.
shield, right? Yeah, they were
They were
searching
looking
for
for
some.
something else, and Submariner got angry at the surface world or for somebody doing something and broke Captain America free from his iceberg. Um,
Mm,
Toro was Human Torch's kid sidekick, right? Like everybody had to have a kid sidekick in the 40s. Stanley hated that, which is why you weren't allowed to bring Bucky back from the dead, which is how we got Winter Soldier because they told a good story and Stanley finally let him bring Bucky back. Um, but sorry, I interjected there. I knew you'd appreciate that. Jen, you got one more shows?
no, I do. I mean, so guys, no, I mean it's knowledge is power, man. Whenever MT talks, I always listen. It's good stuff that he always has to share. Um, there's also this comic that I was looking around for this. I don't have the first appearance of Mysterio. Um, ended up buying it's one of the more older.
Oh yeah.
This is this is a very old comic, but this is an international foreign Mysterio comic. This is actually the this one right here is I think I'm not sure if this is the Italian version or if this is the the French version. I think this might be the UK version. I'm not sure which version this is, but but it's like very old, guys. It's like 19. See, it says London right there. So 1973. It's all in English, but I was looking for stuff that I need that I don't have just because I collect stuff like this. So I ended up getting this also, but it is the first Mysterio. I think it's like a UK edition or something like that. But I need to look more into it. Can't even tell you what it really is.
I thought that those particular format of books has the reprints of the comic strips in them. I could
I
be wrong.
see.
I believe that that's what's going on with that book.
Yeah, it's just a really neat. It's like very neat, you know. It's something to have that's part of your collection. That was another one that I I got a better copy this time of this, but it's Star Lord. It's the first colored Star Lord,
Oh, now
which
that's awesome.
like I'm not
What's
sure
the
if you.
year, what's the year on that?
Uh,
What's the title of that one?
it's
Marvel
called
Super
Marvel Super
Special
Special
Magazine.
10, I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Marvel Super Special, and it would be number 10 right there.
Yeah, because if people don't know, Star Lord first appeared in magazine size, where the covers were color, but the interior pages were black and white, before his first regular size comic book appearance in Marvel Premiere number 4. I think it is number
So
4, 4
I
out of
would
6.
definitely, I would definitely give this book to someone that knows how to press really well because it's not so much that there's no color breaks, but
Just
it's
looks like it's cleaned a little bit, but
yeah,
yeah,
it needs cleaning. It does need cleaning, and you have that right there. And I mean, if I was to grade it raw right now, like in its condition, I would say this is about a 9.0. Um, it's a
yeah,
good book.
for
It's a good
cleaning
book to have.
for sure.
But and then finally, there's another one, and we'll go back to you after
Okay,
this. So, Comic Champ, if he's on here or if he's lurking, I finally got my package from him, and look, I mean, just beautifully done, beautifully packaged. I actually took a video of it of me opening it, and I was using Adam Sandler's voice when I was doing it, and I think I'll send it to him later. But I was very happy when I saw that it was his packaging. But he packaged really well. He packages, I think most of us that are on the auction, say like 99.9%. Again, I won't say 100% because somebody might have a bad day. But but I think we all do a very good job with packaging. I try to do bulletproof packaging and so forth. But I saw his stuff and I was like very impressed with how he did his, and he had a lot of bubble wrap in it. And
right. As somebody who receives, not only ships a lot but receives a lot, I kind of have uh, I. I finally understood that too much packaging is not good either. If it takes you half an hour to unearth a comic book, it's kind of you've gone too far. But there is that nice balance. But still, having somebody package a book well knows that they care about it. They care about you as a buyer, and that they've cared for your comic to get it to you in the best condition possible. So obviously I'm a big stickler on good packaging. So Champ is certainly top rung when it comes to packaging.
definitely.
What do you get
No,
you?
he
What
is.
do you get
So I ended up the stuff that I bought from him last week that the entire panel started going after. Um,
you? Oh yeah,
I
right.
think
I
this is
lost out on this one.
yeah, I think this is the one that you let me have, MT. So I was pretty happy about this because so this book right here. So my fiance, her favorite character is Venom. So she loves Venom. So this is actually for her. So I will submit this in eventually. I want her to like meet some of the guys. Like I want her to meet Todd McFarlane. Want her to meet a few people. So when she gets and I got a topper for this now too. So if she's able to meet some of these guys and they see how much she loves their stuff, who knows? I mean, I told her just ask for a remark. 'Cause I'm sure Todd McFarlane wouldn't mind giving you a remark because you're newly into comics and so forth and all that. So
Yeah,
she
women
loves
get
that.
a little extra attention at Comic Cons for sure.
Yeah, compared to guys, I mean, I go up to Rob Liefeld and ask him.
Well, we should explain to people what that book is exactly.
Okay, so guys, this right here, Amazing Spider-Man 252. This is the first time. So there's a debate between this book and also Secret Wars number 8. So remember, Secret Wars number 8 is the origins of the black suit. This is technically the first time he wore the black suit, or was it Secret Wars that he wore the black suit? So there's a
Now,
debate. Huh?
well, there's a three-way kind of tie for the first black suit, and it would be Marvel Team Up 141, Amazing Spider-Man 252 and Secret Wars number 8, which would be the
Yes,
first 3 appearances of the black suit. Mike
because it's
Lofton, hang tough because I just found your box of the stuff you just sent me, Mike Lofton, and I'm going to do this live on the air because you
yeah. Thank you, comic book
absolutely
champ.
gracious. Buddy.
Thank you so much, Bub. Thank you, because she loves it, man. She saw it
Champ's
and I
got
told her,
great books, and that one looks gorgeous too, huh? High
yeah, it
grade
is.
copy,
I mean, I
right?
put it. I ended up getting a topper um and I wanted to protect it extra, even though he gave me Mylar. His packaging was on point. I loved it, and I was like, oh man, I'm definitely gonna buy from you again. I know how that feels because when I package and people are like, oh shit, man, you packaged this like it was freaking like yeah. Well, I'm like I just shipped off some books to Canada, and I was like thinking, man, it's like September. September is coming up. I don't want there to be like snow or I don't know some sort of cold breeze or something to mess up this box. So I don't know. I put like tape around the edges too, man. I do all this extra shit.
Yeah, I should make that point. If you're sending a medium flat rate box, whether it's the skinny one or the fat one, you should run tape around the entire perimeter to keep it from blowing out. That's a good little tip.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what I mean. Again, guys, I always think about who I'm sending it to, and I talked to Jetology because I told him today like, hey, look, I got all your stuff packaged, and I showed him how I was packaging it. I took a picture of it, and then I sent it to him, and he's like, wow, thanks, man. And I go, look, dude, thank you for waiting because I was on vacay and it finally got off, so I just sent
Okay.
everything off to him.
Well,
Anyways,
you got
guys,
something else here because we're running out of time. I really got to get to Mike
all right.
Lofton. Go
So
ahead. No,
this is
show us. That's a great book.
that's the last one that I'm showing you guys. This is also for comic book champ. Ended up getting this from him also. It was packaged in here, very well packaged. Loved his packaging, loved everything that he did. So if you ever see that he has any mystery slabs or anything in the future, yeah, definitely buy stuff from him. And MT too, I mean, all these guys package really well. All right, MT, what do you got, man? I'm gonna switch
Okay.
the camera right on you.
All right. Beautiful. All right. Mike Lofton sent me a box. We're going to open this together and we're going to talk about this.
All right.
First, I'm going to give this guy a plug here, and I'm going to give him a thanks on my IG. This is a new guy that I just started buying books from on IG. I gave him the link to our auction, and I'm very surprised that the grade that he put on the book was accurate, if not a little undergraded. And I was able to finally get this. I've been chasing a high grade copy of this book for some time. Madam Web is going to be a big player in this new the Spider-Man animated Spider-Verse show, and the new Madam Web is oh, help me out here, Jen. The Spider Woman from the 80s and 90s. She was
Yeah.
in Secret Wars.
Julia Carpenter.
Julia Carpenter. Thank you, Jen. Thank you. Who is the Spider Woman when I was first reading books. I've always had a soft spot for Julia Carpenter. But anyways, Madam Web, nice high grade copy. And the other book that I bought from him was this classic Captain America Punisher book. Very iconic cover. I own quite a few copies of this. I always buy, if it's in high grade or higher grade, I'm always buying this book. Great Frank Castle. They did this Punisher run in like 2008, 2009, where he wore Captain America's costume to go fight this biker gang after Captain America had been killed. The interior art and the story in that is just spine-tinglingly good. So good. So he also included with this for free a really nice copy of Secret Wars 2, number 5. And this book, interestingly enough, I've said many times, big fan of the New Warriors. Darkhawk was always kind of considered a goofy B-list type character. During the War of Kings, they relaunched his origin story, and became very, very dark. And he's got this. He's part of a group of Space Force, but they're like selected people, and one of them is like a mass murdering guy. It went in a very dark direction, added a lot more dimension and depth to Darkhawk as a character. I don't know where he's at currently in Marvel Comics, but it was an interesting turn for him. Very low print count for the Darkhawk. There's only 2 issues in it, and they went into it with Ascension. So it's Ascension. This is the variant cover, and then there's a Darkhawk 2 issue series from this same story. Interesting that he would include that because this is a book I'm always looking for. So thank you. I don't have my phone in front of me, or I'd shout you out. IG comic book seller. But I'll give you a shout out in my IG posting. Okay, let's get to Mike Lofton. Now, Mike Lofton's like, I'm going to send you this, whatever. I like to give free bonus books out to people who buy from me. And I tried to do some better giveaways here during June, a little bit into July. Mike Lofton has been a strong patron of mine, has bought quite a few books, and I try and show some appreciation by throwing in goodies, lots of extras that aren't just throwaway books that actually are helping the run. So he's like, I'm going to send you this Avengers 225 book. And I guess I wasn't paying close enough attention or forgot that it's a slabbed book. I don't know what you're doing sending me slab books for free. But, or a random act of kindness, to say, because I don't think I paid for this. If I did, I don't remember. So I'm going to, if not, I'm going to say my Lofton gave me a random act of kindness. Great job packaging. I love the pool noodle pipe insulation packaging, right? Big fan of Black Knight. Big fan of this cover.
That's beautiful.
I love the frills on it. It marks it as being very different. When you flip through the book, the long box of Avengers, this book always sticks out in the stack. Looks drastically different. So I really appreciate this, Mike Lofton. This was a hell of an A-OK here. And this is a Stephen Grant story. Greg LaRoche and Chic Stone art. So I was going to see who did the cover. Hannigan and Betty cover. Black Knight appearance is written on there. So this is one he didn't tell me about. There's a second slab in here. You have gone too far, Mike Lofton. You have gone too far, sir. Again, this is a great community. Random acts of kindness are never overlooked. I do highly appreciate this, good sir. And Jen is probably going to know what this book is more than I will. I have a feeling. A yellow label. Action Comics 1000.
Is that signed by what's his name? Is that signed by Turner?
Tyler Kirkham art. Witness signature by Tyler Kirkham.
Tyler Kirkham.
Of March of 2018. Awesome witness. Go ahead. Tell us about the book, because I don't know much about it because I don't read too much DC.
Okay, guys, that's also a first appearance. Action Comics 1000 was also a first appearance. There was one where the actual character was on the cover and Superman was using like his knee to like Superman punch him in the face. But I can't remember the character's name.
Is that Doomsday?
It's not Doomsday. I'm actually trying to look it up right now. So it's the first appearance of Rogol Zar. So it is a first appearance of Rogol Zar. There is a cover with him on there where he's fighting Superman and Superman's using his knee like he's using the character, like the villain's knee, to like leap up and punch him in the jaw. It's actually a really cool cover. But that cover is so awesome to look at because Tyler Kirkham puts so much detail into anything that he does. I mean, no wonder his prices are so high with even just sketching and for his fans when they're like, "Hey, do me a doodle." He's sitting there remarking all those things. So, but yeah, it's a beautiful book, man. That's
So, Mike
awesome.
Lofton, very awesome. A-OK. This is a PC book. I will keep this and treasure this forever, good sir. This book, I am going to give this away to the community, and I am going to make sure that they know that it came from Mike Lofton, who did a tremendous act of kindness by sending me these two slabs. Big shout out to him. Great member of the community. Highly appreciate it. I will pay that forward by giving the community a chance to win this book, just for participating in the comic book community that we all love. We appreciate it. We couldn't do it without said community, which is we love to hear your participation in the chat, hear what you guys are interested in, what you're thinking of, what you like about books, what you're collecting, what you're passionate about. It all makes it worthwhile. I was just actually talking to Michael Presses today about why I do this, because I don't make money because I buy way too many comic books. So I do this because I love it. I like to talk about comic books. They were important to me in my life. I think the stories are important. The characters are aspects of ourselves and things we aspire to be. And I think that is why we keep coming back to comic books throughout our whole life. I think they have important stories and characters that all make us strive to be better people and to make the world a better place. And it's typified in great cover art. So, and this is a fantastic piece of cover art here by Tyler Kirkham. So thank you, Mike Lofton. I really appreciate that. Very good. I hope you don't mind if I send this forward and kind of give this away to the community, and I will make sure you get credit for that. Hopefully that's okay. But this I will certainly keep and treasure for forever. I will do one more cold open here. I've got a big, huge box. Ooh, actually, this has got stuff in it I really want to see. But we are running long here. But I will do one more cold open for my Monday deliveries. And then I still have to tell you about my shipping horror story. I did show I always talk about the dreaded yellow envelope. You get a yellow envelope where the comic is just in the envelope with no cardboard, no backing. I showed off the pink envelope. I got a pink envelope this week, but it did have cardboard backing in it, so I can't hang them out to dry completely. But that's the first time I ever got a pink envelope. But at least it did have cardboard backing. So it looks like there's quite a few books in this box packed to the gills. Should I cheat and see who it's from? Or did I just put that box?
You want to know? There's a story that I have where
Go ahead.
Shipped a comic book in a pizza box.
I remember that story. This looks like this came from Evan, who sells over on Madhouse. Another one of my all-time favorite B-list characters, the Jack of Hearts. I don't know what it is about Jack of Hearts. Maybe the ties to Alice in Wonderland type of thing. I'm not quite sure why. I've always kind of liked Jack of Hearts. I like some of the more. I like some of the. No, I don't really like his outfit actually. I like obscure, kind of funny characters. Like I'm not a huge Spider-Man fan. Sorry, guys. True. I did collect McFarlane Spider-Man. That I did like, but never got too into reading Spider-Man. I didn't grow up in a big city. Seems to appeal to more people who grow up in a city. I was always into more of the galactic, big cosmos, science fiction type books, and Submariner World
Yeah.
War II related books, sci-fi books. That's where my passions lie. So 2 copies of that, more of the Jack of the Hearts, and again, here we go into some of the more weird science fiction stuff. This is Astonishing Tales, It, featuring It, which is a small run they had.
Mhm.
I've been trying to collect some Hulk annuals because Spidey Girl keeps asking me for Hulk annuals, and I don't have any to sell. So I've been trying to track down copies of annuals, and I'd have to say this one's not bad shape. Some Doctor Strange in here I got from him. I'm still trying to fill out my Defenders run, so I got a bunch of Defenders books from him. There's Heather Douglas Moondragon, one of my favorite characters.
Mhm.
Um, this is a classic bondage cover, the upside down crucifixion of Valkyrie, kind of a risque cover. Looks like we got a little bit of a tape pull on that one, but Defenders is kind of like a title not a whole lot of people collect, but there's some really awesome covers on here. If you look at this one, doesn't look like she's being attacked by a baby or a baby doll looking. Isn't that weird? But she's
Yeah.
actually carrying the baby. She's
Yeah.
escaping with the baby. It looks like she's being attacked there. So people might have watched some of the books that I picked up from Evan. So I'll probably hold off on opening the rest of these. If it's how long are we running here?
Yeah,
We are,
dude, we're having such a good time. I mean, to be
we're
honest,
trying to
I
keep
mean,
it
you
to
have
90
20
minutes.
people.
Yeah, I guess we're carrying 20 people. I'll show some more. Um, we try and we always say we like to keep these videos to an hour, and then we try and make sure we cap it at 90 minutes, and we are certainly there. Okay, Jen will like this. Like Jen, I have been buying every bronze, silver, age Submariner books I can get my hands on. In
Yes,
fact,
I'm the same way.
I just bought
Yeah.
32 copies of Volume 1 of Submariner this afternoon.
Oh, you're that guy that I was probably. I'm just joking.
Been against. Yeah, it was a person to person sale, so it wasn't.
No, that's why I'm just joking. I'm like,
World War II, Sergeant Fury doesn't get much love. He really should, although his early books are wickedly expensive. The first couple issues of Sergeant Fury, Howling Commandos. This was a comic book my dad collected as a kid. I inherited a box of well-read comics, and we abused them as kids. Like I said, I had the first couple issues leading up to Amazing Fantasy number 14. He decided to stop buying Amazing Fantasy at issue 14 for whatever reason. So I've got like 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, but not 14. I'm like, great, Dad, you couldn't go to a comic book stand one more week, huh? Captain Savage is another World War II Fury type character. Captain Savage had his own run. He had this Mohawk Indian professional wrestler on his squad. And when I was a kid, he was my all-time favorite character. He is such a badass, but really cool character. Captain Savage is here again. So I didn't remember. Oh, here's a good one. This book, I've been trying to buy a lot of these as well. What this book is the first full appearance of the Hellfire Club. And any of you who watch Stranger Things, the Hellfire Club was a big thing in the Stranger Things show. The funny thing is the Hellfire Club, all the guys dressed up like Edwardian English characters, and all the women wore lingerie. That's a club Paul Comics wants to be a member of, right? Love this book. This is a high grade copy of it, and it looks every bit of a high grade. Great book. I love this costume that Storm has. I like her white costume too, but I like this black one especially. Again, back into the weird science fiction type covers. So then I'm getting some of these. So tell me how cool this book is. Mr. Jackal might like this one. This
It's a
is
very
World
book.
War II in space. Or actually, I'm sorry, World War One in space. World War One in space. So how cool are those aliens? Look like they're on the Death Star. Cool UFO cover. That ancient aircraft is the last defense left on Earth. Let's destroy it. I don't think he has much of a chance there. What do you think, Jim?
No, no, he doesn't. But no, that's a really beautiful cover. There's a lot of detail. It's almost like its own story. It's very Jack Kirby esque.
It's a Joe Kubert.
Yeah,
Joe
I mean
Kubert
Jack.
cover. Who?
No,
Go
I was
ahead.
gonna say that artists back then, it's almost when they drew covers, it's like they told stories panel for panel. It's not like how it is today, where everything is done on a computer. Back then, it was like they were just telling you a beautiful story without words, and the words were added on later, which is actually how they did it. It's just beautiful. It's beautiful stuff.
Joe Kubert had advertisements in magazines and comic books for his school on Learn to Draw. He was an extremely popular and famous artist in his day. Mike Lofton, I will put this aside for you, good buddy, because I'm going to say that is in pretty good shape too. Um, Such an awesome cover, though. I'm happy to enjoy comic for a while and let somebody else enjoy it, but that is a phenomenal subject matter. See, this hits all the checks all the boxes for me. You got World War stuff going on, militaria, right? You got science fiction, and you've got a UFO on the cover. I mean, honest to God. And it's a 15-12 cent book. What else could one ask for in a
Well,
comic book?
you know what I love about that is like the you saw the ground, how there's fire that's coming off, the ricochet. It's beautiful,
Okay,
man. Look
yeah,
at the way
right.
it's done.
Striping the ground there, or those might
Mhm.
be bombed out targets or something, huh?
Mhm. It's very beautiful. That's why very detailed. I mean, Mike Lofton, if you were to get that, yeah, kudos, man. It's awesome. It's awesome. Awesome stuff.
I will earmark this for you, good buddy. I want to thank Mr. Jin here for helping me out since Fearless Leader abandoned us. We'll remember that,
No,
Carlos.
Carlos isn't with us today because he's feeling under the weather right now. So, if we're a team, so we enjoy doing this. There is one book that I didn't show you guys. Now, I think I showed it
I'll
to
go
you
ahead and show
yesterday.
it real quick. Show it real quick so I can cue up
I
what
am.
this
I'm
idiot
showing
did.
it to you right now. I think
Okay.
you're gonna like this book.
I forgot about showing my disaster. Okay, so what's happening here? Describe what's
So
going on here.
this is the first appearance of Captain Strong. Now, I mean, yeah,
Who
he
is
looks like Popeye the Sailor Man.
Popeye the Soul Man?
Yeah, it's good stuff, man. I mean, again, this is another book that I was looking after. Um, I was trying to find this cover for a while, also, and it came back. You know, it's good. It's nice. It's I don't think there's very many of them out there, but I showed it yesterday. I don't think you were on just yet, but I think I showed it to Mr. Price, but I was really excited about this book when it came in. But yeah, it's a beautiful cover, guys. I look at this, I think I'm gonna keep this and keep this for a very long time. But yeah, it's a very beautiful book. But
Trying
yeah.
to find. Maybe I can't lay my hands on it right away, but that's fine. We don't need to see the train wreck as much as I explain exactly what happened here. Um, oh, here it is. I found it. I
You want
found
me
it.
to
Yeah, go ahead. You can flip over here. Um, this is what it came in. This is what I picked up. Oversized bubble wrap envelope. I pull it out. 2 comic
Uh-oh.
books, no boards in them, no cardboard in this package. I paid $200 some for this comic book.
Oh
Uh,
no.
for a 9.8, 9.6 can. I think it was probably going to be a 9.6 candidate.
Like first Gamora.
He said it was going to be that high. I really would have been happy if it would have been a 9.0. I think I'm into this for 240,
Oh
and
wow.
for $240, could you throw a piece of cardboard in there? Could you maybe put a backer board in there for $240? So I wrote like a 3-paragraph essay to this guy on why the heck you couldn't buy 3 cents worth of cardboard to protect the $250 comic book order. So, what was a pristine copy?
Oh, that's terrible, man. Yeah, I feel so bad for you, man. It's just that sucks, man. I mean, I bet you'd be a lot happier if it showed up in a pizza box rather than that shit. I mean, mine showed up in a pizza box, but at least he had tape on it.
So,
I mean,
it's just bouncing around inside of this envelope, number one. And if people don't understand, these packages, these envelopes go through a huge mechanical sorting machine that has rollers and bend. These things get destroyed. I'm surprised it looks as good as it does, but, you know, near mint candidate, this book will never be. So not only am I kind of pissed off that I paid a bunch of money and you shipped it like Enigma Marinus, but you've also destroyed a high grade comic book from the world. You've taken a high grade first appearance of Gamora from the world. You've robbed us of this by your ignorant packing.
yes,
I
but
mean,
more importantly from you, because you're pissed off right now. You're very triggered, and I would be too if somebody shipped it in a bag like that and it was just bouncing around
so
everywhere.
it now has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 color breaking spine ticks. Um, it
You
sold to me
can't
as a
you
near
can't fix any of that.
sold to me as a near mint plus. I looked at this and I saw that there was um, some what looked to me like staining on the back that I could clean off. I got him the negotiation to come down a little bit from his original asking, thinking I could clean this cover, get it really sharp and crispy, and press it. And if it wasn't as good as my PC copy, um, I would resell this. I obviously can't resell this book now. Um, he
Look what
stated
Comic
that.
Track said. Like,
Oh, right. You know, I'm gonna. Yeah, I thought about that being vindictive. And like, really, when I got this, I had to wait 2 days before I wrote him back, um, because my first inclination when I get this stuff is to immediately jump on and tear these guys a new asshole. Right? That's my first inclination, and it's not the best way to go. All right. I calmed down. I got myself 2 days further down the line, and I said, hey, listen, it's kind of obvious that you don't ship a lot of comic books. Let me explain to you why you did what you did as a problem and try and help them. Because I'm not a person that if I'm on a site where they actually review buyers, I'm not a person that runs in and gives a negative review right away. You've got to really piss me off to do a negative review. I will contact them directly, explain to them why this and this happened, try and make it be a teachable moment. There's no sense spreading anger and hostility out there in the world if I can help educate somebody on being a better shipper or help them on their journey. Everybody's struggling or grinding out there, and if I can help teach people to so you won't receive a book like that from somebody in the future, right? I think it's worthwhile. So I explained in great detail why you don't ship comic books like this. Um, but for those of you who don't know, this is the first appearance of Gamora. Stunning cover, stunning cover. and in a high grade, you're talking mid nines is $300 book. Um, Warlock, like great cover. It was too soon to talk about this before. I've kind of calmed down a little bit. I don't have a resolution on this yet. Um, I'm going to get one, by God. But if you buy from somebody, I always ask, have you sold a lot? That's why this is why I try and buy more person to person these days through IG or the other two comic book websites that I use where you can buy person to person, because I'm tired of getting shit like this in the mail. Anyways, that's my horror story for the week. Thanks for being with us. MT Comics with my good man, the future Batman, Mr. Jin himself on the Carlos Collects. We are going to sign off. Any final words here, Mr. Jin?
No, just thanks a lot, guys, for joining us tonight and just hanging out. I do recommend you guys. I don't know if I'm going to be on with you guys on Wednesday, but I do recommend that you probably reach out to Michael, Michael Presses. If
yes.
there's anyone, if there is anyone that knows how to take care of their books very well, it's him. I mean, he's given me books that are 9.6 or better. Sometimes even when they come back and I'm like, how's this a 9.6? This should have been a 9.8. He takes really good care of his books. And if there's anyone that can teach you how to take care of your books, it's most likely Michael. But if you do have an opportunity, just try to get with him to try to get so you guys can talk about it. But aside from that, I had a pretty good time tonight, guys. It was fun. And also with you, MT. It was amazing being on here and just carrying the show, and it was fun.
I am also going to plug Mr. Press Niche Worldwide. His IG. Trax, drop your IG. Hope you're watching still. Trax does pressing and cleaning. He does not charge near enough money for his services. I've talked to him about this before. So if you want to get your books cleaned and pressed by a real professional at an extremely good price, send your stuff to Trax today. Because I'm going to attempt to put his IGs in here. I hope this is right, Trax. Okay, he's got it in there. Okay, good. Send it to him. I'm not accepting any more books. I tend to work on high dollar, older, Silver Age, Bronze Age is what I specialize in, and cleaning and pressing and fixing books. Mr. Press Niche Worldwide can handle volume, which I will not take. But he is very good. We talk about pressing and cleaning all the time. I highly recommend him. I trusted him with my ASM 300. I just sent him a 1 and 9/8 tracks. Give me that 9/8. So I send him books too, and I clean and press. So you should too. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you for Mr. Carlos too. Thanks for tuning in, being part of the show. We could not do it without you, and we will see you all next week. Thanks, guys.